Cotton 豪華滅却
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto was tired. What would happen if Naruto, now 15 years old and still a genin, grew tired of the fact that everyone in Konoha considers him as being the most hyperactive knucklehead ninja of the hidden village? What if, all of a sudden, Naruto becomes serious about his life as a ninja and starts to train harder than ever, accomplishing difficult and impossible missions and becoming an elite Anbu captain? Things going wrong at the last Sasuke retrieval mission and Naruto ends up taking the blame for it. Now, tired of everything being his fault, he sets up a new way of thinking that happens to go against every belief he once had. The problem is that not everyone seems very thrilled about the change. Let's see what changes will come to the Naruto verse. Before we start, don't forget to give a like and subscribe to this channel for more what ifs, and check the description for creator of this great fanfic. So let us start. Hey guys, sorry to disturb you in the middle of the story. I'll get to the point. As I said, I have made a Discord server, and I have asked you guys too, but you didn't have any Discord apps, so might have not joined in chat area. I have to say, I will discuss future videos and other stuff in the Discord, like posting videos which are hidden or private but can view it with a link which will be available in Discord. I want you guys to join on your accord, but who knows, you may join or whatever. My part is to invite you guys. The link is in the description. Check it out guys and give a like to this video. I need at least 200 likes for next video on this series. Let's continue with the story. Chapter 3. Training Summary. What would happen if Naruto, now 15 years old and still a genin, grew tired of the fact that everyone in Konoha considers him as being the most hyperactive knucklehead ninja of the hidden village? What if, all of a sudden, Naruto becomes serious about his life as a ninja and starts to train harder than ever, accomplishing difficult and impossible missions and becoming an elite Anbu captain? Pairing Naruto x Anko Chapter 3 Training. When the alarm clock bipped 6 a.m., Naruto knew that it was time for him to toin for the Chunin exams. So, he took his list of things to improve on that he, together with Shikamaru, made last night. Now, the old Naruto would call Shikamaru crazy, stating that such training was impossible to do, but then he also would underestimate himself for even thinking he couldn't do it. Flashback. As Naruto got out of the Hokage monument, he was walking through Konoha with his hands on his pockets and with the same old apathetic look. But on the inside, his mind was racing through all the possibilities. He would like to spend some time fighting his clones to improve taijutsu and quick fighting skills, as well as his ability to make quick decisions. After that came ninjutsu training. He also berated himself for having only two strong techniques, Kage Bunshin and Rasengan, and when he asked Jiraiya to teach him new ones, the pervy sage ended up saying that the Rasengan needed to be perfected. Meanwhile, Shikamaru was walking the other way, muttering himself over some troublesome argument he had with Temari over the fact that they would be working together for the upcoming Chunin exams that will be held. When he looked up, he saw Naruto and instantly noticed something different from the blonde. He remembered Temari saying that she heard some rumors regarding Naruto and that he changed 180 degrees after the failure of the mission that involved Sasuke Uchiha's retrieval. Shikamaru never liked the Uchiha that much, and he was the cause of his first failure as a Chunin. Now, he was responsible of changing the forever happy Naruto. That, Shikamaru thought was near impossible and too damn troublesome to be true. But as he saw the look of Naruto, he chose to confirm the suspicions. Hey Naruto, how's going? Greeted Shikamaru, seeing Naruto slowly lifting his head like it was too boring to do, let alone answering the question and starting a conversation with the lazy Chunin. Fine Shikamaru. What you're up to? Oh, nothing much, just thinking about my training routine. I have only 2 weeks and I need to start the training tomorrow. Said Naruto, not even bothering to smile once to the lazy Chunin. Training for what? Shikamaru already knew of his attendance at the Chunin exams from Tsunade, but he didn't want to show Naruto that he already knew, since he would be one of the judges. But Shikamaru figured that Naruto would keep saying that he would become Chunin all the time, as well as the whole one next step to become Hokage, speech that was almost Naruto's mantra, but little did he know that this isn't the old Naruto anymore. If you don't know Shikamaru, it would be pointless to explain it to you. Besides, I'm busy right now. I need to plan a little schedule in order to better train myself. See ya, said Naruto, earning glances from Shikamaru. Yep, he changed from water to oil. Shikamaru was in trance. Naruto didn't once tell him about the word Hokage and actually gave him a sarcastic remark. It's for the Chunin exams, isn't it? Asked Shikamaru, wanting to hear more from the new Naruto. Shikamaru was getting more interested as the conversation was proceeding. You're a real genius, Shikamaru. It took you a while to come to that answer. But I guess you already knew, didn't you? But then again, why would you try and deceive me like that and not come clean about it on the spot? Would you perhaps think that I wouldn't know that? Please, Shikamaru, I don't need this, okay? I'm out of here, said Naruto with little to no emotion, talking towards Shikamaru. For Shikamaru's part, he was stunned. He did think that Naruto wouldn't be able to see underneath the underneath, but as he was saying with a cool voice, he was literally open his mouth in amazement, thinking this is some dream or something. Little did he know that Naruto actually resented those who underestimated him and that Naruto on the inside was once again fuming. Sorry about that, Naruto. I really am. Have you already come up with something like a schedule yet? Let me help you to make up for you. Shikamaru was impressed at his friend's sudden change of aspects that he vowed to help him. Now, Shikamaru was considering that these Chunin exams would be interesting as hell. It's okay. I don't like to be underestimated, just keep that in mind, Shikamaru. As to the schedule, I figured that since I have an affinity with wind and water jutsus, it would be best for me to go at the Konoha library and study about it, but I was thinking of study precise chakra control, since I sincerely lack of and some fast taijutsu practice. No doubt about it, he really changed up to the point where no one can recognize him anymore, thought Shikamaru, while looking at the new Naruto. Say, Naruto, you want me to make a training schedule for you to keep up? What do you have in mind? Naruto asked, keeping his guard down for a moment. Shikamaru, then, wrote a list of subjects to study and practice and handed to Naruto. The list involved a period of 15 days training. It started with chakra control exercises within the 3 first days. Shikamaru also wrote some books for Naruto to pick, followed by 2 days studying the essences of wind jutsus and weaknesses of such jutsu nature. Then, 2 days with wind chakra exercise and manipulation, followed by a collection of wind jutsus to learn and practice in 3 days period. On the list, Shikamaru suggested at least to master 3 wind techniques. The last part of the schedule involved water style essence and weakness for 2 days and water jutsu practice, also suggested 3 techniques for the last 2 days. The last day is meant to Naruto rest for the Chunin exams. Let me see. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I want to train some taijutsu as well. So how about take 1 day of studying the essence of water jutsu, so I can, on the 14th day of my training, focus on martial arts with my clones. Okay, then, so since you will spend less time with water techniques, I suggest you try harder the 2 days available for this task. Easy. I just don't sleep at all, surely I can keep up with this routine. Hey Naruto, remember that this type of training is almost impossible to conclude, so try not to overdo it. If you're starting to get low on chakra, rest a little bit. Whatever you do, in order to complete your training, you cannot use 1 full day for rest. I know that, Shikamaru. I'm actually surprised you cared so much, said Naruto in a sarcastic manner, much to Shikamaru's dismay, figuring that this Naruto gained a little sarcastic behavior. Well, I was only trying to help you, but since you know what to do, I'll leave you be. I always found strange that you have such abnormal chakra capacity, but that's another mystery that is Uzumaki Naruto. Anyway, I will be the judge of the Chunin exams and I will be seeing you personally. Since you don't like to be underestimated, I'm thinking about raising the grade limit for you to become a Chunin. You will be required to be more than just Chunin material to Konoha. You would have to be Chunin material up to my standards, and I assure you it won't be easy. Said Shikamaru, challenging Naruto, but no in a threatening level. The tougher, the better, Shikamaru. I'll be seeing you then. Take it easy and say hi to Tamari for me. Tell her that I want a match against her in Fudan Ninjutsu after I'm done with the Chunin exams. Said Naruto as he became to walk towards his apartment. I will. Wait, said Shikamaru and already cursed himself for thinking that Naruto knew of Tamari and him or not. You changed to quite an interesting guy, Naruto. I'll be seeing you at the Chunin exams. End flashback. This time, Naruto didn't wear his black-orange outfit. Instead he wore an outfit that he used when training with Jiraiya, that is black pants and dark gray blouse, since he made a decision to eliminate all the orange. In order to prevent cold looks from Konoha's population, Naruto jumped from roof to roof until he arrived in front of the Konoha library. During his travel, he sensed the presence of all the Rookie 9 training, except for Sakura, which could only mean that Team Kakashi were on a mission outside of Konoha. Actually, Naruto improved his skills of chakra sense during his training with Jiraiya. Hyuga Neji, family prodigy and now Konoha Junin, activated his Kekkei Genkai and spotted a figure jumping from roof to roof in a very high speed even for his Byakugan to follow, and knew right away who the speeder was. Uzumaki Naruto. Neji gave a little laugh, stating he indeed have changed, as he was nothing like before. Then Neji was caught by surprise when he saw that Naruto was actually looking at him from a considerable distance away, with an indifferent expression in his face, though. Actually, everyone who knew him instantly thought the same thing as Neji. Neji came to know from rumors that Naruto would be participating on the next Chunin exams, and he wanted to know how was his training with the Sannin Jiraiya. I'll do everything to see Naruto's improvement in the exam. When Naruto arrived in front of the library, he remembered his very words in reference to the library, "Never would I step my foot in this hellhole." But he knew that if he wanted to grow as a ninja, he had no choice but to study Konoha books. Once inside, Naruto handed to the librarian a list with all the books he'd be needing for his training. "Excuse me, miss, can I have these books?" "Well, certainly. Can I see your library card?" "I don't have one. It's my first time here." "Oh, I see, so tell me your name, age and ninja rank for me to fulfill the necessary forms." "Certainly. Naruto Uzumaki, genin of Konoha, 15 years old." "Okay. All set. Now, let's get those books you requested, shall we?" said the librarian as she instantly found all the books and handed to Naruto. "Thanks, miss. Oh, and Naruto, your time limit is in 20 days from now, enjoy." With that, Naruto exited the library, packed all the books in a scroll and went like a bullet to his home in order to start studying. What Naruto didn't know was that the librarian reported to Lady Tsunade a list of all the books requested by the new shinobi as a way of seeing if their shinobi would expand their knowledge. At the Hokage's office after reading the report, Tsunade was surprised that Naruto of all people would go to the library, but she realized that Naruto isn't the same as he was before, which frightened her a little bit. Right now she couldn't decide if she should feel happy or sad for Naruto. Happy because the blonde shinobi would finally follow the right tracks, and sad because he isn't the same overconfident Naruto who convinced her of becoming Godime Hokage. She was really confused. At that moment, Shizune entered the room and saw the Hokage lost in thought. "I presume it's about Naruto," started Shizune. She already told Tsunade about Naruto's training from Jiraiya and was scared of her master. Tsunade was fuming with anger at the Toad Sannin, since he was practically the reason why he was like he is now, but after some time she calmed herself, since she was getting eager to see the new Naruto. "You're a genius, how could you tell?" said Tsunade with sarcasm, actually in the same way as Naruto's new characteristic. "He is going to be strong, Tsunade-sama. I don't know, but when he talked to me and Kurenai yesterday morning, there was something that he did to us, that we just couldn't see the old Naruto anymore. He was able to beat the two of us just with words. And to believe that he is at least 10 years younger than us. Rest assured, Tsunade-sama, he will be strong, mark my words for it. Do you think he'll ever forgive Sakura and Yamato for what they done to him? Hard to tell. He always smiled at tense situations. And since I saw that look on his face I was paralyzed. I've never seen him like that. The events that succeeded really changed his way of thinking. He is not the brat we all know. He is a man now. He is a ninja of the leaf," said Shizune with a hint of newfound pride when talking about her brother. After wonderful words given by Shizune, Tsunade suffered a small surge of adrenaline in her body. She could not wait to see how strong he will become at the Chunin exams and in the future. At Naruto's apartment after 3 hours of studying chakra control, Naruto decided to take a break and try a chakra focus exercise that he learned from the book. The exercise consisted on focusing chakra on the user's feet, sticking them to the wall, then climbs up the wall until you reach the ceiling and stay upside down for 1 hour. At first, Naruto thought it was impossible. But in the middle of the exercise, he realized that it was not that hard, that he could hold on much longer than 1 hour. After 2 hours, Naruto felt his legs trembling, so he released it and fell smoothly on this apartment floor. The emotion he felt when he completed the exercise was overwhelming. When he went to see the exercise in the book, he noticed that on the next page, it showed a score. If you manage to stay 1 hour hanged, you have chakra control equivalent to a mid-chunin level. If you went up to 2 hours, you are at least high chunin level. At the end of the first day, Naruto already have up to 65 effective chakra control. When he read the second book on the second day, he noticed that the focus now was using techniques. He learned how to use the correct amount of chakra for ninjutsus from all classes, from E to S, in order to save the largest amount of chakra possible. Since Naruto had an explosive amount of chakra, if he managed to use just the necessary amount of chakra for each technique, it would take a miracle for him to ever suffer from chakra exhaustion. When the second book was done, Naruto decided to experiment something he never tried before, doing Rasengan without the need of a shadow clone. At first, he couldn't do it properly and the energy went unstable, breaking a little piece of the living room's wall. He remembered what the book said about channeling just the necessary amount of chakra in order to do it, not just trying to assume the quantity. The second time, he still couldn't do it completely, but the energy ball did appear on his hand. The third time he completed the ball of energy completely and without the need for clones. On the third and final day of chakra control practice, the third and final book consisted on high Junin level chakra control and medical chakra control. He figured that he would be satisfied of having as much chakra control as a high-level Junin, so he concentrated on the first part of the book. Safe to say that the third day was the hardest of all so far, because Naruto was having trouble to understand how effective was a high-level Junin's chakra control. The book seems to show two theories. One, that the amount of chakra control is directly linked to the amount of chakra that a ninja has, and the second is the effectiveness of the ninja's chakra control. If Naruto were to base on the first theory, he would be Kage level, because of the excessive amount of chakra he have combined with Kyabe's chakra. But since Naruto, because of his battle with Orochimaru, decided not to use the demon's chakra again, just his own, which by far passed Kakashi's. So, he decided to train according to the second theory. The book, after the theories, was divided in two parts, explaining the first and second theory, from history to practice. When Naruto reached the end of the book, he was marveled at all the information he gasped from. To believe that chakra control had so much information, I always thought that it was a simple thing that everyone could learn in a simple way. I must remember to thank Shikamaru for the books that suggested. Naruto came to realize that out of the rookie 9, they were few he could actually be fond of. Shikamaru was one of them and possibly Neji, but he was not a part of the rookie 9, since he is a year older than Naruto. When he reached for the last exercise of the book, he noticed that the completion consisted of performing 10 Kage Bunshins and engage in a fight with all of them at the same time for a period of 1 hour and a half. Oh. 1 hour and a half. That's even possible? Questioned Naruto. Remembering his training with Jiraiya, longer he ever reached was 1 hour and with 5 shadow clones. It was beginning to get dark outside, and he knew that if he wanted to conclude chakra control exercise, he would have to go outdoors. So he went to the place that, other than Kakashi and the third Hokage, no one knew of, so he could get some privacy. Naruto went to the Hokage mountain, and performed the necessary hand seals, screaming with such joy, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. All of a sudden 10 Naruto clones appeared from nowhere and turned facing Naruto. He realized that the exercise didn't only involve chakra control training but also taijutsu training, so he chose to use the weights he used when training with Jiraiya. Then, Naruto turned to see his 10 clones smiling at him like they already knew what they were to do. Naruto for his part was looking at each of them, studying each of their reactions, and surprisingly to say that even though they were clones, they were some of them that were smiling, while the rest of them were like the new Naruto, looking at the original with determined face. Okay, clones, you know what to do. Come at me and fight. Let's rock, said all the clones screaming together as they charged against the real Naruto. Meanwhile around the Hokage monument, Neji was doing patrol duty near that area, and with his Byakugan, he spotted 11 Narutos on top of the Hokage mountain and gasped in surprise. He's actually trying that exercise. I've never seen anyone actually able to complete the exercise, let alone go even further. Actually, Shikamaru was partnering with Neji for patrol duty and laughed at Neji's surprised expression and said, "You know, I also wasn't sure he could do it when I suggested that book for him." "You what?" "Yeah, me and Naruto formulated his train schedule for 2 weeks." "Oh, I see, he's not the same as before, Neji." "That's a fact. I'm in fact worried that he can be stronger than I am. I think he will be stronger than anyone in this village. He actually has affinity with wind and water jutsus, which already prove that he can become at least Junin. If he manages to control the fire element, he will be unstoppable. I better train harder. He won't beat me ever again." Shikamaru could only laugh about it. Even if Naruto changed his personality, he still could make everyone inspired to do their best. "Hell, even I suffer a burst of excitement when I look at him, so troublesome," thought Shikamaru. Back with Naruto, half an hour has passed since the beginning of the fight and not a single sweat appeared in his face. He was feeling more alive than ever, being able to anticipate every move the clones charge at him and attacking as well. Since the main training was about chakra control, his clones would take the attack but did not evaporate, since Naruto was channeling chakra as a way of using the Kage Bunshin technique. The exercise consisted on a constant channeling of chakra in order to keep the Bunshins from disappearing after contact. After the time limit for the exercise approached, Naruto signed for every clone to stop at his tracks and then released the technique. He was glad that he managed to complete a high Junin level exercise and had to admit that he was a little tired. After all, he just trained equivalent to 10 shinobis, since the clone's memory went to him after disappearing. Remembering to Shikamaru's suggestion, Naruto went straight to bed and fell asleep soon after. The first part of the training was complete and now was time for elemental jutsu training. On the next day, Tsunade was looking at the report on guard duty from Neji and Shikamaru over and over again. She didn't believe that Naruto would be so caught up on his training that he would consider that exercise. The fact that he succeeded it was a feat itself. Tsunade just couldn't wait for the results of Naruto's training, so she requested Neji and Shikamaru's presence immediately at her office. "You called us, Hokage-sama?" prompted Neji first. "Yes, I did. I've seen your report on yesterday's guard duty and noticed that you guys spotted Naruto performing high-level Junin chakra control exercise." "Precisely, Hokage-sama," Shikamaru said slowly. It was tough just to read what was said at the report, but it was tougher to actually hear a Junin and Chunin confirm the situation. She did know that Naruto took that book with the exercise, but she didn't know that he would try to perform that exercise, let alone complete it. Right now what scared her the most was that with all experience she had by seeing other shinobis, she could not grasp the full extent of Naruto's growth. For her, Naruto will be forever an unsolved puzzle that even Shikamaru wouldn't be able to solve. But that was a good thing, she thought. He has high probabilities of becoming Konoha's strongest ninja alive at some time in the future. Just by imagining what would Naruto show for her, she was biting her lips just bearing what he could accomplish. Never in her life had she suffered from anticipation. Meanwhile, Neji and Shikamaru were staring at Tsunade, when she was thinking the whole time. "Ah. Excuse me, Tsunade-sama, did you call us here just to comment on the report or is it anything else?" said Shikamaru, slightly bothered by the Hokage spacing out. "What? Oh, sorry about that, I was caught in my thoughts. Yes, Neji, I want you to report to me about Naruto's training, but only after the Chunin exams." "Got it. You want me to spy on him? Any problem with that, Junin?" said Tsunade, showing her scary face to Neji. "At all, Hokage-sama." "Wait, but why only after the Chunin exams?" he mused. "But why is she asking me to do that? Call it intuition, if you want, but I'm not sure if he's going to show his full power at the exam and I need to know what he can do, in order to know what to do to him. But Hokage-sama, it will be very easy for him to know I'm spying on him," said Neji, remembering the event that Naruto was looking at him from a distance. "Explain yourself, Hyuga. With your Byakugan, you can see almost the entire village, just how can he sense you're watching him?" Now this had even Shikamaru was interested. Just how could Naruto see that Neji was spying on someone? 4 days ago, I saw Naruto heading to the library, jumping from roof to roof, and I can tell you that the distance between him and me was almost 2 miles. He actually looked in my direction and keep looking at me with such apathy looks, just like he knew it was me. I believe that he could sense someone's chakra from a distance, Hokage-sama. Really? This must have been Jiraiya's doing. He must have taught Naruto some tracking skills. Damn him. Well, do your best, think of it as a stealth exercise. Hi, Hokage-sama. So, Shikamaru, do you have any information about the new Naruto, that you would like to share with us? Only that he has affinity with both Futen and Suiten techniques. Told Shikamaru, actually telling them a truth, but not the truth that he was responsible for setting his schedule for his training. That Kakashi already told me. Well, both of you dismissed. Neji, I'm counting on you. Hi, Hokage-sama. Said both of them as they vanished afterwards. At Naruto's house. Back at Naruto's house, he was now caught studying the history of Futen jutsus and its essence, so focused that he didn't sense Neji spying on him. Since Naruto didn't want to go out just yet, he ordered some pork ramen from Ikiraku's by sending a small toad to the place. After 20 minutes, Ayame rang the bell of Naruto's apartment and delivered Naruto's order to him. Thank you, Ayame-san. You're welcome, Naruto-kun. Ayame was blushing madly. She knew Naruto and at first she still saw the kid that always ate ramen, but this one was different, this was a man and he was handsome as hell. She blushed madly, while having perverted thoughts of the blonde shinobi. After that, she left his apartment and made a mental note to be the one delivering the next time just to see him again. At that time, Neji could have sworn that Naruto have seen him where he was hiding, but then decided that he couldn't notice me without Neji aware of it. Naruto, after finishing his meal, continued reading his book, but he couldn't help but wonder why Neji was spying on him. In fact, he knew that he couldn't train in a secret manner, but to actually put a Junin to see what Naruto was doing was something Naruto didn't expect from Tsunade. Oh well. I think I've scared everyone with my new way of thinking, concluded Naruto. Since elemental training was new to him, it took a little longer to understand than the chakra control exercises, but when the day became night, Naruto managed to cut a leaf in half, being this one of the exercises of the book. The book said that in order to have full control of Futen chakra, a ninja would have to slice water current. All he could think of was to practice it just outside Konoha where a waterfall was located. Actually, Naruto was ahead of his schedule, since he only needed one day to fully learn Futen chakra and now was doing wind chakra exercises. He figured that he could practice one more day of taijutsu, in order to complete his schedule for the Chunin exams. On the next day, Neji was having trouble finding Naruto, since Naruto wasn't inside the city, actually he was training outside the walls of the hidden village. At the waterfall, Naruto stands on top of a rock in the middle of the waterfall, in order to start practicing the last and most difficult exercise he ever had to do. When he put his hands almost touching the water current, he already was injecting a little wind chakra into the current, not quite cutting the water, but he could see, after 1 hour of practice, a small gap caused by his chakra. After amazing 4 years trying, Naruto managed to slice completely the water current, now possessing full control over Futen chakra. Since he still had 3 hours left of practice, he made some hand signs and screamed once again, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. This time, 20 Narutos showed up. This time, Neji sensed a presence outside Konoha and found the clones charging at Naruto, with all they got. Neji was furious with Naruto. Damn you, Naruto. You were here the entire time, I was looking for you all day. Neji was now hidden behind a big oak tree to analyze Naruto's fight with his clones, but something wasn't quite right about Naruto's chakra. When Neji used his Byakugan, he noticed the presence of Futen chakra floating throughout Naruto's tenketsus. When did he manage to control his first affinity so quickly, and without me noticing? He must have mastered, while I was looking for him. Damn. Naruto did a section of defensive taijutsu with his clones, up to the point that he could properly defense and minimize the blow, only by using defensive taijutsu. After some time, the sky went dark and Naruto went straight home to rest, same as Neji. Since the next day was meant for Naruto to complete the waterfall slice exercise, he decided to take it easy and read the collection of Futen jutsus from one of the scrolls he picked at the library. From the list of Futen techniques, Naruto managed to choose 3 techniques that would best fit his needs. Futonsuigadan no Jutsu, one technique similar to Hyuga's ultimate defense, but served as offense. To perform the technique, First the ninja have to make the following a sequence of hand signs, then the ninja needed to perform a spin as well as expel wind chakra from his body, in order to create a powerful hurricane. Fuuton Rasengan. This technique Naruto invented. It involved the real Rasengan with little Futon chakra in it, creating a ball of energy with a cutting ring around it. Very effective. Fuutondaitoppa no Jutsu 2, a breakthrough. It's when the ninja put the hand close to his mouth and blow a large gust of wind, leveling almost anything in its way. Naruto had 3 days to master all these techniques. So he used the rest of his free time to meditate about the upcoming training period and went to sleep afterwards, not before noticing Neji's image, reflecting from the moonlight. When Naruto woke up, a huge burst of ecstasy ran through his body and he was shaking from all the excitement he was feeling. Today, he is beginning to add new jutsus to his arsenal. After breakfast and a quick cold shower to wake up, he went straight to his favorite training ground, on top of the Hokage mountain. Hoping that Neji wouldn't spy on him, Naruto decided to get there at maximum speed to prevent his spy from following him, which actually worked. He did not sense Neji's presence anywhere. It was time for Naruto's first jutsu, the Futon Suigoden no Jutsu. Before he began, he looked at the book to memorize the hand seals sequence, which wasn't all that difficult at all. After a few tries, without channeling chakra, Naruto did perfectly the seals needed for the technique. Next, was his time to try performing the jutsu. This time, Naruto had some trouble, since his spin movement wasn't quite as accurate as the scroll said, slowing his training a bit. After having another peek at the scroll, he understood the movement. When he tried the next time, a big and strong hurricane appeared around Naruto, but something still wasn't right, since the hurricane wasn't going anywhere, so what Naruto needed to do was to focus more on Futon chakra in order to control the hurricane and he was good to go. Meanwhile with Neji was searching for Naruto nearby, and he saw what appeared to be a big tornado coming towards him, obligating him to dodge it. But, because of the strong wind, Neji was thrown away and landed with his back on a tree, breaking some of his bones. Ah! So much pain! Screamed Neji. Neji had to crawl into Konoha Hospital and luckily for him, Tsunade was visiting the facilities and noticed that Neji was crying in pain at the reception. How can I help you, Neji-san? Asked the attendant. My back hurts like hell. I need a doctor ASAP. What the fuck happened, Neji? Tsunade appeared out of nothing, scaring Neji and increasing his pain a bit. Hurry, put him in a room for examination. I'll personally heal him. Certainly Tsunade-sama. After fixing Neji's broken ribs, Tsunade asked, let me guess, Naruto. I think so. I was searching near the Hokage mountain for him, when a tornado appeared out of nothing and I had to dodge, but because of the strong wind, I went flying and hit my back pretty hard. It seems that Naruto is training Futon techniques, but creating a tornado is something I've only read in books. I never saw before. Because of the extent of Neji's wound, he stayed at the hospital for the day and left the day after. Back with Naruto meanwhile, at the Hokage monument the entire ground was covered with holes. Naruto was caught sweating and laughing like a maniac. He was so thrilled that he forgot the Daitoppa jutsu. Oh, I remember picking tree Futon jutsus. Ah, there is the Daitoppa. Okay, so the book said to focus Futon chakra in your lungs, put a hand close to the mouth and release all the air accumulated in your lungs, filled with chakra. Naruto managed to make quite a strong wind in his first try, but he knew he could make a stronger, if he concentrated better. It was the last day of Futon training, and he, after completing the Futon Rasengan and the Daitoppa, Naruto let his brain work. What if I use a shadow clone to pump more Futon chakra into the Rasengan? There is a high possibility that I can create a much more powerful Rasengan which can manage to cut the object more than one time. Not having second thoughts, Naruto created a single cage bunshin without the need for seals and channeled the Futon Rasengan together with his clone, causing the transformation of a big shuriken with the energy ball in the middle. Naruto, because of the strong wind leaving his hands, fought to remain standing as the giant wind shuriken is now circulating his hands. Now, time for a target, said Naruto, spotting a few trees right in front of him. As the technique touched one of the trees, a huge typhoon circulated around the strike area, cutting and slicing everything that was near. Shikamaru, who was the nearest from the area, heard the huge noise and looked up only to see the giant typhoon still in full power and Naruto smiling right near it. Naruto fell happily on the floor, grasping how much his power improved and thinking of a name for his ultimate jutsu. I think I'll call this technique Futonrasenshuriken. Yes, that's a great name. After regaining his forces, Naruto went home to sleep. Even Naruto, whose chakra was unlimited, was beginning to feel some pain in his body, because of the excessive training, so he went to bed as soon as he reached his home. But one thing was passing through his mind, about a small note on Futon Chakra book that said that the ninja also can channel wind chakra in weapons, just like Sarutobi Asama's twin knives. If Naruto managed to join Anbu forces, he would get a katana and would be a great advantage to him if he could learn kenjutsu, weapon fight. Since the last part of the training involved Suiten jutsus, Naruto was looking forward to using this type of jutsu for defensive, other than offensive. But, that would have to wait. The blonde shinobi needed to rest more than he usually does, so he set up his alarm clock to 10 a.m., instead of 6 a.m. Yeah, that would do it, said Naruto, almost snoring. The next day, as the alarm ringed, Naruto woke up. He managed to rest just enough to regain his 100 energy. Putting a white t-shirt and his usual black pants, he picked up the books about Futon jutsus and started reading all of them. Minus 10 days time skip. 10 days went by as Naruto started his training. Kakashi, Sai, Sakura and Kenshin already left Iwa and were heading straight to the Fire Daimyo's house, the last part of their mission. It involved a 2-day travel, since they were moving in a slow pace. Suddenly, Kenshin turned to talk to Team Kakashi and wondered where was the last member of the team, since his father, the Fire Daimyo, mentioned that the team who would be escorting him, would be a 4-man unit. So, Kakashi-san. What? Didn't your team have a 4th member? Where is he? Actually, yeah, there was. But the Godime gave him another mission to attend. Well, it wasn't totally true, but the client didn't need to know that. Oh, I see, concluded Kenshin, but being an excellent observer, he noticed Sakura's sudden burst of sadness and decided not to comment about the subject anymore. After a few miles travel, Team Kakashi escorted the Daimyo's son safely to his father's house and Kenshin thanked everyone for escorting him and said goodbye. There was only 3 days left for the Chunin exams, so Team Kakashi decided to speed the travel back to Konoha, so they can watch Naruto's performance. On the way back, Kakashi talked to Sakura. Sakura, what's on your mind? You think he will ever forgive me, Kakashi-sensei? Hard to say, that guy is an enigma. You never know what he's thinking. Kakashi-sensei, be straight with me. What do you know of Naruto's training? Only his jutsu affinities. Plural. Yes, Naruto has affinity with Futon and Suiten jutsus. Really? That's great. Oh, what's the need? I don't expect to talk with him ever again, so I'm pretty much all alone, again. Sakura, what you're feeling right now, it's pretty much what Naruto felt his entire life. That may come as a surprise to you, Kakashi-sensei, but I've never noticed how sad he really was until the day that Yamato and I just blamed him for everything that went wrong. I see. It really surprised me to know that Yamato would blame Naruto in such a way. By all means, it was most surprising, the fact that you blamed him for everything. On that day, I was so frustrated for not bringing back Sasuke-kun, that I blamed Naruto, instead of dealing with the failure myself. Now, it's too late, I'm afraid. From what I heard, he's already a whole different person. I don't think we'll ever get to see the old Naruto again. This time, Sai, who didn't open his mouth to say anything, stepped in the conversation. Naruto-kun will get stronger like never before. He's going to be one of the greatest weapons of Konoha. Needless to say, both Sakura and Kakashi nodded in agreement. Back at Konoha, Naruto was found at the same place he practiced the slice waterfall technique, but now he was standing on top of the river, completing his final Suiten chakra exercise, which involved making a little whirlpool for 15 minutes. Actually, Naruto already chose the techniques that he would like to master. Suiten Suishuuha no Jutsu 3. After performing a sequence of hand seals, a wall of water would appear around the ninja, protecting him against attacks in all directions, but had a weakness. Once the ninja performed the technique, he wouldn't be able to see what the enemy would do next. After the water protect the ninja, he or she can transform the barrier into a tsunami and throw at the opponent. Suiten Suiryuudan no Jutsu 5. An offensive attack. The ninja form water dragon in order to attack the enemy. The number of dragons would depend on the ninja's chakra used on the technique. Suiten Gyorai Shin no Jutsu. 6. The real purpose of this jutsu was to stop the enemy's movement, since it would be required an evasive technique in order to dodge all of the water needles. Suiten Uzumaki no Jutsu. 7. This jutsu involved the use of wind chakra along with water surface, in order to create a whirlpool that can serve as a protection or as an attack. Since all Suiten techniques needed only knowledge of hand signs, other than attack positions, Naruto nailed all 3 techniques in just 4 hours, ending the training schedule he and Shikamaru made. Since he still had a day and a half to train, Naruto chose to release the chakra on this feat and relaxed at the lake. Swimming, diving, taking a little nap. He even hinged a cage bunshin into a floating bed for cry out loud. The last day of training. On the last day, Naruto decided to enjoy his bedroom more than ever and slept all morning. In the afternoon, Shikamaru decided to stop by to see how the training went, as well as pick up the books that Naruto picked at the library since someone important needed them. Actually, he was here to see Naruto, but the goddamn librarian asked him to pick up the books. Troublesome. Oi Naruto, are you there? Screamed Shikamaru, in order to see if the blonde was home. You don't have to scream, you know, I actually have neighbors. Said Naruto in a sarcastic manner, much to Shikamaru's dismay at hearing an actual sarcastic comment from Naruto. Can I come in? By all means, can I get you anything? No thanks. So, Naruto, did you manage to complete our schedule? I sure did, even though I thought that it was near impossible. I never knew such a lazy person such as yourself could come up with such a training. You actually gave a new meaning to the phrase, those who can't do teach. Said Naruto, actually making Shikamaru laugh for the first time, from the funny, smart comment. Ha ha ha. Actually I didn't know what was I thinking when I did that schedule. Only a mad person would accomplish. Well, come to think about it, only you could, since you are the most troublesome person I've ever met. Seriously, Naruto, don't you rest ever in your life. If you stopped 1 second to just watch the clouds, you would see the beauty of it. I resent that, you know. Those books were really helpful, and for the last comment, I wouldn't manage to just stare at the clouds 1 minute, before I kill myself out of boredom. But then again, only a lazy ass such as yourself would be able to just look at nothing and find something. Said Naruto, smiling at his friends, mumbling something like, troublesome blonde, and his sarcastic remarks. Yes, well, for as much as I want to continue with this interesting / troublesome conversation, there is another thing I came here to talk to you about. Actually, there were 2 things I wanted to talk to you about. What is it, Shikamaru? Well, first of all, the books you took were to be returned 2 days ago and you still didn't return it. The troublesome librarian asked me to pick them for her. I would prefer if you would be the one returning them. I'm not in the mood of driving my legs there again today, and I'm considering a little nap sometime today. Said Shikamaru, earning a lifted eyebrow from Naruto, since Shikamaru was behaving well like Shikamaru behaved normally, lazy. Hey, but she said I had 20 days. I know I have at least 2 more days with these books, not that I'm reading them anymore, and I was considering in returning them first thing tomorrow morning. Said Naruto, scratching the back of his head in protest. Yeah, but a very important Junin requested 2 days ago those books and they have preference, you know that. Personally, I think it's damn troublesome that the librarian used me for such a thing, but since I was coming here anyway, but still is too damn troublesome and such a pain in the ass. Okay, Shikamaru, if you use the word troublesome 1 more time, I might actually think that you rattle all your emotions as being troublesome. Come to think about it, all I hear is you saying troublesome, you know there are more words in the dictionary. I'll ask Gamatsu 8 to deliver the books for me, although I wished he didn't want any more chocolate bars, I have to think about getting more of them. Said Naruto, not at all paying attention to the look of wonder that Shikamaru was displaying. Who, plain, simple and to the point. That's all that Shikamaru could say, after not only hearing Naruto pretty much saying troublesome words, as well as saying that he will call Gama or something. Oh, I'm sorry, I never told you I had a summon contract. Here, let me introduce you. Said Naruto as he was going through the hand seals after biting her finger. Kuchiyose no Jutsu. 9. From a puff of smoke, a toad from the size of Naruto appeared, with a war vest and 2 swords strapped on his back. Shikamaru, meet Gamatsu, one of my partners in crime. said Naruto as he slammed his hand on Gamatatsu's back, grinning like a maniac towards his toad friend, knowing that the latter did this a lot of times before and well a slam from a toad hurts as hell, even if it's just friendly manner. How are you doing, bro? Despite the fact that you just slammed really hard on my shoulders, and rest assured, I'm going to get you for that, said Gamatatsu, smiling in a evil manner towards his human friend, showing him that next time he may not be so friendly. I'm fine, Gamatatsu, just returning all those slaps you gave me back then, and besides what I just did to you didn't even compare to the ones you gave me. The last one actually left your paw print on my shoulders, oh so have you know. Smiled Naruto as he was literally taunting a battle toad who by the way had 2 swords and wasn't afraid to use it. Hehe, fun times. So Naruto, what can I do for you? Can you deliver these books to the librarian for me? Said Naruto. Sure, but what's in it for me? Said Gamatatsu, much to Naruto's dismay, since such toad was in fact a greedy bastard. How about 1 chocolate bar as well as scaring the librarian a little bit, you know, like good old days? Said Naruto, earning smiles from his partner in crime as well as Shikamaru, since he as well wouldn't mind scaring that lady a little bit, since he didn't like being a messenger. Make it 2 chocolate bars, and you got a deal. You are one greedy toad, you know that, right? Fine, 2 it is. Man, I have to get extra supply of those chocolate bars if I want your help in the future. But then I guess I'm glad you're not your father, because if you were, I would have to buy the whole chocolate factory just to fill him. Done, said the toad, vanishing. At the library the toad disappeared and appeared right next to the librarian, scaring the hell out of her. Actually, he threw the books at her, while making some scary face, courtesy of Uzumaki Naruto and his well-known pranks throughout the shinobi countries. I'm here to deliver Uzumaki Naruto's books, screamed Gamatatsu. Aw thanks. Being that all that she could say given the fact that a human-sized toad with 2 swords strapped on his back, screaming at her and making scary face. You're welcome, bye. Strange character aren't you, Naruto? Back at Naruto's apartment. I'm back, Naruto, where are my bars? Here we go. Thanks, see ya. Bye, say hello to Bunta for me. Okay. So, Shikamaru, what was the other thing you wanted to talk to me about? Oh yeah, Tsunade wants to talk to you at 6 p.m. about the Chunin exams. Actually, she called for both of us. Okay, I'll be there. At Tsunade's office when the clock inside Tsunade's room showed 6 p.m., Shikamaru and 2 ninjas were waiting for Naruto to arrive. At least, he didn't change the fact that he always late to arrive here. I wouldn't say that, Hokage-sama. Naruto, out of nowhere, appeared from a puff of smoke. What the F? You scared me, you know. My apologies. You called for me, Tsunade-sama. For some reason, she was expecting to hear Tsunade-ba-chan, but it never came out. I can see you changed dramatically. And that she meant that he was Minato with different clothes. His hair grew a little bit and his muscles were showing more because of his outfit. Really? Is that noticeable? Have you looked yourself in the mirror? Your clothes changed. That color of your blouse really suited you. Your face expression is very experienced, Naruto. You're definitely changed a lot. Tsunade-sama is hitting on Naruto. Troublesome, thought Shikamaru. Well, your request was to train for the Chunin exams that will start tomorrow and, said Tsunade until she was cut out by Naruto. Excuse me, Tsunade-sama. Naruto said in a polite and respectful manner, frightening Tsunade like anything. Never in her whole life would see Naruto as polite. Yes. Did you call Kakashi-sensei here as well? Said Naruto as he sensed the presence of the lazy Junin approaching the office. Actually yeah, I did. How do you know that? Because he's going to knock on your door right now. At the sound of Kakashi's knocking, everyone in the room froze and Naruto smiled. Enter Kakashi. Tsunade ordered, giving the creeps out of the Junin who figured that the Hokage was spying on him or something. How did you know it was me, Tsunade-sama? I didn't say my name. Ask your student, he sensed your chakra approaching and enunciated your arrival. Said Tsunade, smiling towards Naruto. Kakashi turned to see a 200-changed Naruto and widened his eyes in surprise. Naruto, is that really you? Asked the one-eyed Junin, thinking he was hallucinating since he swore he had seen his sensei giving him a little grin and say, surprise. It's been a while, Kakashi-sensei, how you've been. I was normal until now. I see you are stronger than before. Enough, Kakashi. So Naruto, I want you to meet your team for the Chunin exams. Katoshi Saito and Midori Tonari, they will take the Chunin exams with you, since their teammate is not in conditions to do the exam. Nice to meet you both. Said a shadow figure just behind the new ninjas. Actually, Naruto decided to do a little demonstration of his skills to everyone by performing a single kage bunshin to appear behind the two genins, but it was so quick that the Hokage was in shock when she realized what Naruto had done. After seeing an exact copy of the blonde shinobi behind them, Saito and Tonari could only jump in surprise. I didn't know that he improved that much. What type of training did he go through? Kakashi wondered. So, introduce yourselves, so I can meet my team better. Said Naruto, causing the young genins to promptly present themselves. Saito went first. Katoshi Saito, 13 years old. My sensei is Aoba, and I have large experience in taijutsu and fire-type jutsu. My dream for the future is to succeed almost impossible missions and be one strong Junin. Midori Tonari, 13 years old. My sensei is Aoba, as well. I have affinity with water-type jutsu, taijutsu and a little kenjutsu. I want to be the best Konoha swordsman. Since you all introduced yourself, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Uzumaki Naruto, 15 years old, and my sensei is here with us, Kakashi sensei. I have experience with wind and water jutsus, as well as excellent chakra control and taijutsu. I want to become a part of Anbu and in the future, an elite Junin. Nice to meet you, Uzumaki-san. Both genins said together. Since you all already know each other, you three are dismissed. Kakashi and Shikamaru, you stay. I need to talk to the both of you. With that, the three genins left in order to get to know each other, since Naruto asked them to show what they could do. So Kakashi, from what you see, what's your opinion of his training? For only 2 weeks of training, he changed a lot. He's really not the same. I cannot say what's his new abilities are, because I was on a mission, but I can assure you that he won't have any trouble at the exams. That's quite obvious, don't you think? Shikamaru said. What do you mean, Shikamaru? For him to have affinity with 2 elemental jutsus, it's safe to say that he's already low-level Junin at least. I agree, Hokage-sama. I didn't notice when he did the kage bunshin. If I were to fight him, I have to use the Sharingan at full force. I see. Well, tomorrow is the Chunin exams, and the third part won't be until 1 month after the second part, so we'll only see his abilities, then. Tsunade-sama, I have a request for you. What is it? I want to be the person taking care of Naruto's Heaven and Earth scrolls in the second part. Granted. You are dismissed. 1. Wind style. Hurricane. 2. Wind style. Great Breakthrough. 3. Water style. Great Wave. 4. Actually, Naruto had the answer for the technique's weakness. Since he can create kage bunshin very easily, he would form one, in order to stall the enemy's attention at least until the water barrier dissipated. 5. Water style. Water Dragon. 6. Water style. 1000 Water Needles. 7. Water style. Whirlpool. 8. For those who does not know who Gamatsu is, he is the son of Gamabunta, the head of the Toads. 9. Summoning Jutsu. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for more what ifs and support the author. See you guys in the next video.